What's up, everybody? It's Richard here at Gas Monkey Garage, and since a lot of people are trapped at home, I'm trying something a little new. Instead of just sticking a few pictures on the old interwebs and telling you what I got for sale, I'm going to tell you a little story. So right here is a first generation 1959 El Camino. First time they ever made them, and this was one of them, okay? Now, this is a pretty killer car, and it looks pretty good as it is, but let me tell you how I found it. So I'm always looking for cars. I'm always getting leads. And one of the leads came in, and it was a 59 El Camino. And since I'm pretty partial to them, I followed up on it. And it turned out that this car was here in Texas, way up in Amarillo, about 6-hour drive from here, in a storage unit where it had been sitting since the probably 90, 91. And, so 30 plus years. And on top of that, the guy that owned the car was all the way out in Atlanta, Georgia. So I was like, okay, how do I get to go see this? How do I get to check it out? Well, he shared as many pictures as he could, and I decided to pull the trigger. We made a deal, stuck it on a trailer, and brought it down here to Dallas. And when it showed up, I got to tell you, I was a little worried because when I'm having a few cold beers in the afternoon and I'm playing on the old interwebs, I can make some hasty decisions, and not all of them are the best. But this one I think is going to turn out all right because we got it here, we checked it out, and it's a relatively straight, nice car with all of its trim. And it looks like it was somebody's show car back in the day. Like somebody took it to the shows on the weekend, took it to the parking lots, out to the park. They were, a hip dude with a cooler full of beer, hanging out with their friends with their shiny El Camino with all the chrome doodads and what have you. Now, when you go around and you see that it's maroon, we believe the original color is red. Obviously, they didn't make this color or anything close to it in 1959, I do not believe. Mach 2, belted radials, vintage. American racing wheels, vintage, but this was the shit back then, okay? This was cool stuff. And other than that, the car's relatively straight. It's all original body panels as well as we can tell. It's got a little bit of filler here and there, but it's not full of filler. The floorboards have been replaced, front and back, and the gas tank had been pulled out of it. So we just left it like that because here at Gas Monkey, one of the things that I really try to do before we really get into tearing a car apart is we get it here and then we figure out what we got. We've got to go through it front to back, find out what its pitfalls are before we decide if we're going to build it or if we're going to sell it, if we're going to save it. There's a lot of things that go into that thought process. Back here, tailgate and everything works as it should. All the lights and things like that seem to work as they should. Look at this plate. Last registered in 1990. Unbelievable. Dual exhaust with long tube headers, small block Chevy. I'll get to that in a minute, but this was a pretty bad car for the early 1980s when it was last driven. A pretty rad dude. As a matter of fact, I don't want to date myself, but I would have liked to have this car in high school. So now the killer part. The old show cars, they always seem to crack me up. Everybody gets crazy with the interior. So same with this one. We've got the back deck is covered. The interior is this diamond and pleat patterned vinyl. I guess it would be called diamond button tuck, patterned vinyl. So this was probably a hot rod on a budget. It's got a matching spare tire cover. Look at that. And some type of big Hurst crazy shifter. Now, other than that, it's relatively stock. Everything's here and sanitary. This car could be cleaned up a little bit and cruised every day. I'm going to leave that up to the new owner. But if you're a 59 El Camino aficionado, you know that the big things are all the rust, the trim, and making sure that you got a complete car to start with. I call it garbage in and garbage out. If you start with a good car, you're going to end up with a better product. So let me show you the interior of the motor compartment. Woo! It's hot in there. So up front, we have the California bumper, which was a option. Not necessarily only in California, but that's just what it was called. This guy or gal was really proud of their car. You can tell that it had the old stainless with the anodized parts and pieces on it. But we got a nice, clean, sanitary small block Chevy with 3 deuces. We got these crazy little mirrors up here showing it off. I think at one point in time, this was somebody's true pride and joy. And I think they would have had a really good time showing it off. Now, I had Tony throw some go-go juice in it, put a little power to it, and see what we got. Well, what we got is a nice running little small block. It'll shift through the gears, and it'll drive here in the parking lot. It's got enough brakes to get on and off a trailer, and that's as far as I want to take it because anybody that builds this car or gets it back on the road is going to want to do it their way. So this is a great starter car. It's a 1959 El Camino. It can be available as of right now, and it's for sale. So if you're interested, hit us up at info@gasmonkeygarage.com, and you can check out this video as many times as you want, or you can look at all the pictures that we're going to post also. There'll probably be somewhere around 80, 90 pictures. I hope you buy it. I hope you're the one, and I hope I make some money. I think I did good on this one. Woo!